Hey everyone, today is day 16 on tapping for recovery from fear. And Emily, you have a really good one. They all are, but this idea of I know better and what kind of a person keeps making these poor choices. And this to me is the ultimate in the bully in our brain, beating the hell out of ourselves. Sorry, I'm just getting situated here. It's the ultimate in how we can just beat the crap out of ourselves. I know better, and yet I still keep doing it. And the truth is, we can intellectually know better all day long, but there's a big difference between intellectual knowing and emotional knowing. So this is where, to me, it really helps to start to break this down into who's running my show. So when you have I know better, and sorry, I'm going to close this. Kind of hilarious how this goes here. Hey everyone. So this is just going to be so impromptu because there's gardeners out here at my cousin's house, and I'm like, ooh, they're doing the blowers. So this is how you want to break this down. So the voice that says I know better is hey Ruth, is very often, and I'm going to say that voice does not sound like, oh, I know better. It sounds more like, I know better, like you know better, and what are you doing, and who do you think you are? It's that voice. I know better. So that's the bully. Because think about it, and I'm going to wave at you, Ruth. Does that voice feel really friendly? Oh, babe, I know better, and yet I do it anyway. Probably not, especially if you're staying stuck in this pattern. So to know that's the bully that's going, you know better, you should know better, come on, you know better, I know better. Or it's even like this, oh God, I know better. Because there's always some sort of beating and self-esteem diminishing thing that's going on with that. So just know that, and I think I'm going to have to freaking close this other window too. Oh my God, I'm really rolling with this, especially when we start to tap. Yeah, hang on, guys. Sorry, you're going to see a blank wall. Okay, sorry about this. I'm just rolling with it. So think about, like, I know better. That's the bully in your brain. And then the other part of you that gets really upset, that feels really emotional, that feels beaten down on, that's like, oh God, so I know better, that starts to panic about it. A great question to ask yourself is, how old do I feel right now? How old do I feel? I guarantee you'll come up with a young age. And hey, Karen, how are you? Always glad to see. I know there's somebody else here, but unless somebody says hi, I can't always tell who's here. So if you want to stay incognito, do. So this is a way to break this down. So the bully's always that inner critic, that critical, punitive, up your ass, just trying to swoop in right at that moment. And you always know the bully's in operation because you feel like crap. Think about it this way. I like this, light or heavy. Does it feel light to go, I know better? Feels pretty heavy to me. But that's what we do. And I give you this to not judge yourself for judging yourself. It's just to be aware. So that inner critic, you're like, okay, there's the bully. And then that, oh God, I feel like shit, kinds of stuff going on here. Somebody was just trying to call me. Oh, what kind of person does this? Because that's how my voice sounds when I'm like that. And I've had these exact same mantras. I know better. Like, I know better, and I still do it. What kind of a person? What kind of a mother? What kind of a... This is not happening easily, you guys. All of a sudden, I'm doing this, and we're just rolling with it. I had 2 people calling me. So I'm sorry for all the interruptions. So just break it down that way. The bully, and then here's the thing. When you ask yourself, how old do I feel right now? Who's asking that question? That's the adult part of us. That's the wiser part that's like, how old do I feel right now? You're doing inquiry into yourself about it. So that's really good to know as well. So that's the way to break it down, is the bully in my brain? Is it my wounded child? And then who's going to get in charge here? Like, who's running my show? So, again, it's really good to break it down that way. And it always goes back to, this is where judgment gets so sneaky. I know better. That's judgment. I know better. Hey, Susan, glad you're here too. I know better. Like, I freaking know better. So, that's judgment. So just pay attention to that. So let's just dive right in. And that's judgment. Karate chop. Even though I know better. Oh, I know better. And yet still, I make these decisions. These poor frickin' choices. What the hell is wrong with me? I choose to acknowledge that I'm judging myself. Even though I know better. I know better. And that's the bully in my brain just beating the crap out of me. I accept myself and my feelings now. Even though this is my mantra, I know better. But do I? Do I really? Because if I'm still making these choices, this very young part of me is still just trying to keep me safe. And what if I could consider that? I know better. No, I don't. Not when I'm stuck in this. And here's my indicator. If I'm still making these kind of choices, this very young part of me, sorry guys, is just trying to keep me safe. That's what's happening here. That's who's running my show. I probably have a 5-year-old self, maybe 7, maybe 8, maybe even 3, who is terrified and is trying to stay safe, making these decisions. And to this younger version of myself, this is the best, safest option. So if I saw a little child making the same mistake over and over again, would I go, you know better? Just stop it. Man up. Put your big girl pants on. Probably not. Probably not at all. So what if I can start to consider that this very young version of me is actually the one making these decisions. And this younger version of me is just trying to be safe. And what if that's all I have to know right now? And this is the most important thing here. Because this is how I start to release the judgment of self. I still make choices that appear to not be serving me, but at a deeper level, I'm still trying to protect myself. this really young kid in me is just trying to feel safe. And the more I start to see this, the more I start to soothe myself and release judgment. And the more I release the judgment, the better able I am to eventually start making choices that serve the adult me. But for now, what if I can consider loving and accepting this little child in me back into wholeness, to feeling safe and secure, because that is what this part of me is so desperate for. And when I attend to this part of me, it changes everything. And then take a breath. Sorry guys, I felt like that was like a freaking crackhead tapping around the gardeners, the dogs, the stuff. But anyway, we did it. We got it done. So that's the thing to remember. And I had phone calls coming in. Sometimes it happens that way. So it's just the thing to remember is what part of me is running my show right now. And anytime we're caught in that, I know better, there's the bully. And then the part of you that's like, what kind of a person makes these kind of decisions that feels really anxious or sad or highly charged emotionally? So that's what happens. The bully and the child within us go to battle. And when they're battling each other, that's why you keep making the same choices. The status quo has to stay the same. And when you think about that little kid is like, this isn't safe, this isn't safe, this isn't safe. So when that's all you need to think about now and tap on with this is, wow, which part of me is running my show? And what is this part of me trying to accomplish, continuing to make the same choice? I guarantee you, I say it this way all the time. Anytime you have a behavior that you know isn't serving you, your adult self, but you keep repeating it, you have a very, very, very good internal reason that is always, always, always about protecting yourself. And that's why you keep making the same choice. Or if you're not doing something that you're like, I know that would be better for me, it's the same thing. It's always about protection and trying to feel safe. So Emily, thank you so much for this topic. It's always great. Susan, happy you were here. Karen, Ruth, and anyone else that's here. And go back and do this as many times as you need to. And we'll see you tomorrow for day 17. Take care. Bye for now.